It's about 5:24 in the morning, Eastern time. Yeah, and I'm up doing the video. I wanted to get one last video up because I probably won't be able to get up many videos tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and get up another one. What I want to talk about, I want to change it up. My last video was talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Go back and watch that video. I know if you want to hear anything about basketball. Um, Now I kind of want to change it up, because I like to do talk about video games. Um, as you see, I recently did a couple video game videos, such as the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer reaction. Go back and watch that. Um, what I want to talk about is which console would you be willing to get, if any of them, on day one? And that's the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Now, always, when choosing to purchase a game, um, like unless you really buy like the multi-platform game, the game that's gonna be on that's gonna be on both consoles. It really doesn't matter. You're probably gonna go with the one you're used to. If it's either Microsoft's console or Sony's console, you're gonna get the one that you're used to playing. But I want if you don't just play multi-class and you like exclusives, I'm gonna list off some of the exclusives that have been announced for said console. We start with the Xbox One, Crimson Dragon. Um, you're basically on a dragon, kind of like a flight simulator. Not much past that. Looks pretty cool though. A game called D4. Didn't see too much about that. Dead Rising 3, which is if you played the first two, this new one is using more of a actual like horror survival aspect. So I think this is gonna be pretty cool, and that's a launch day one game, exclusive to Xbox One. Forza Motorsport 5. If you're into racing simulators, that's gonna be a day one game. You should check that out. Killer Instinct, a game that people have been waiting for I want to say 15 years. It was used to be with Nintendo's console with the Super Nintendo, then Nintendo 64, and we finally see its return exclusive to Xbox One. So that to me is probably the one exclusive people are going to get the Xbox One to play. We have Rise, which more like it's like a third person. You playing as a Spartan. It's like a hack and slash type game. Sunset Overdrive, didn't see too much. They do have a trailer. That's about it. No real gameplay. Didn't really elaborate on what exactly it is. Quantum Break, yeah, again another trailer. Didn't see any gameplay. Hopefully we see some of that in the future. You can tell it's going with more like a controlling of time or something similar to that. And a game called Below, which I believe is an arcade type. There are games that won't be coming to PlayStation, won't be coming to Sony's or Nintendo's console, but will be coming to PC and Xbox One. Those games are Titanfall, which is another big game for them. It was created by Respawn, the old team from the Modern Warfare series. That's basically ground like foot soldiers, and you got mechs, which are called Titans. It's a first-person shooter, of course. This game should be releasing around springtime for both PC and Xbox One. And Project Spartan is sort of like a creation type game where you can create worlds and sprites and characters within that world. So, and the multiplayer I left out because, I'm gonna do those at the end of the video. But if you're looking to get an Xbox One, these are some of the games you can look forward to within 6 months to a year of the console launch. So if you really want to know about it, I say go out and research it. A lot of these games look pretty interesting. So if you're considering Xbox One, check out these games. They might interest you. Moving on. Next, we got the PlayStation 4. Some of the exclusives are Deep Down, Drive Club, Infamous Second Son, Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, and The Order 1886. Um, wasn't too many exclusives because at the press conference they really at the press conference they really showed. They still showed the PS3 some support. You know, they showed games that were still coming to the PS3. The Last of Us. They showed um, Beyond Two Souls, etc. So they're still showing the PS3. They're still showing that PS3 is still against exclusives for the remainder of the year. But a lot of these games are pretty interesting. Infamous Second Son is one. Killzone and Knack. But to me, those three games are the games that's gonna sell the most in terms of launch titles. I can go through what the games are about. Now, deep down, I didn't really see too much about that. Drive Club is a racing sim. Like I said, if you're into racing sims and Sony is your console preference, yeah, the PlayStation is your console preference, and you know it's something you should look at. Infamous Second Son, like I mentioned, is the first two games were both on PlayStation 3. Um, Infamous Second Son, you play as an entirely new character in a new city. I believe it is Seattle, actually. Um, really, not much has been shown. There has been gameplay shown, but not much has been shown about the character itself, about the story, or anything like that, or you see any returns from other characters. Killzone, Killzone 1 was on PlayStation 2. Killzone 2 and 3 were both on PlayStation 3. Um, it's a really good first person shooter. Graphics were amazing. Even back on early PlayStation 3, the graphics were pretty good. So it's a game that you should check out. That there is gameplay footage out there. There's trailers. Um, there's details if you look for them, you Google it or whatnot. Knack, another game it's not necessarily a creation type game, but it reminds you a lot of Little Big Planet if you know what that is. If you're a fan of some of the Sony exclusives, it reminds me of Little Big Planet. Um, Customizable. You go around, it's probably more like I won't say like a kid friendly type game. Nothing wrong with that. You know, if you got kids, they like to play it. Or if you like it, doesn't matter. It's a video game. Have fun. Order 1886. Other than a trailer, very weird trailer, might I add. Wasn't really too much explained about the game. Didn't see too many interviews about it. So hopefully we get some gameplay in the near future. Okay, as I did with the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and games that the PlayStation 4 share with the PC that won't come to, as currently stands, won't come to the Nintendo console or the Microsoft console. That is PlanetSide 2, Warframe, and Final Fantasy 14. Maybe others that will only come to the PlayStation 4 from a console standpoint. Those I have not seen or hasn't been confirmed as being so. So naming those games, it's always been about the games. The features are second. It's all about games first, and you could tell this generation, with all the things that Xbox One was originally trying to do, that it really took away from the games. I think they could still. I think they can still do the cloud. They can still do the cloud service without having all the restrictions that Xbox One once had. And I still think the cloud thing could be very big. Cost of specs, I won't get into that. I'll probably make a separate video for that. I just wanted to really talk about the games. Um, I could talk a little bit about the features. You know, PlayStation 4 completely redone, user interface. There's videos actually showing, demonstrating how some of the chat features. Um, it has Ustream support, so you can post your gameplay footage straight to Ustream. Probably the unfortunate thing, and people, you know, as as much as you want to say, okay, well, yeah, no, it's not that bad. It kind of is, and that's playing for PlayStation for to play now, just to play multiplayer games on PlayStation. Now, they have come out and said that you won't need it for media services such as Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, whatnot. You also won't need it for certain free-to-play games. So I believe that's great. Because that was something I always had a problem with Xbox, requiring you to have Xbox Live to get on YouTube or Netflix. When for Netflix, I already paid the $8 a month to retain it. Really, that's pretty vague and simple with PlayStation 4. You know, just about the new user interface. There's some other things that will take too much time to come out with a video of it. So I just really want to talk about the games, and I'm gonna give a brief description of some of the features. You know, Xbox One, you know, the whole debacle with the things that went down even before E3. I mean, it was honestly, it was a shit storm. It was a shit storm. You know, you had people petitioning. You know, no DRM. Um, a lot of people that didn't even believe they would do something like that. You know, those people that was actually happy for it. Coming to E3, you know, all these rumors, they got proven to be true, and it was a huge outcry. It was a huge outcry. People didn't like it. You know, they eventually went back on it. They changed it, saying it was a day one patch. Once you once you got your system, you start plugged to the internet. You know, it was a day one patch. So I can say that's a good thing. You know, kind of skeptical about how they could easily change it, with stopping them from implementing it later on down the line once the console sells. So we really have to see what they do with that. Some other features, of course, is integration with Twitch. Twitch is a big app for the Xbox. They have a partnership with Twitch. Allows people is going to allow people to live stream games, live stream gameplay footage. They've done a lot with the cloud services. Not too much about it. No, both consoles supposed to be doing something with cloud, but they didn't really elaborate exactly what it's going to do. So you have to tune in later to find out any information about that. And that's really all I have in terms of features. I know, like I said, I know it's pretty vague, but I'm gonna make another video that's gonna talk about specs, and it's gonna go a little bit more detail about what features in both consoles. You know, like I said, features have become more important in today's age, where people watch media services. They like pictures, movies, you know, music. You know, that type of stuff has become more important. Having a media hub, you know, watching movies, home theaters, things like that. That's become more important in today's age, more so, honestly, than the gaming, when it shouldn't be. You know, the gaming should come first, but I can understand the purpose of having such other features, apps. You know, what I can talk about though is price. Of course, the Xbox is $499.99 US. I, I honestly do not remember the in pounds and euros. Someone below tell me, if you know exactly, because I do not remember. I just remember it in U.S. dollars. It was $4.99. It comes with, of course, a controller, no headset, um, and the Connect. Now, the console, this is another gripe with the console. The console will not work without Connect. Connect has to always be plugged up, and if the Connect gets damaged, the console will not work. So that's a huge knock on the console. Also, a lot of people believe that if the Connect wasn't on the console, it wouldn't be as expensive. Now, I definitely believe that to be true. Um, but they really feel that Connect is an important part of the system, so they decided to implement it. That's what they decided to do. That's their vision. That's something they wouldn't change. I mean, luckily they changed everything else. So that's $4.99. Kind of steep. PlayStation 3 got a lot of flack for being very between $500, $600. And today, with the terrible economy, that's quite expensive. Now, the PlayStation 4, which is $100 cheaper, at $399.99. Um, more people, if you want to save money, more people will go that route. Xbox One in their conference honestly showed more games that's going to be releasing soon for the system. Now, a lot of it was CG trailers, but they did announce more games. Now, Sony still supported the PlayStation 3. They showed some exclusives, but I'm pretty sure there are more to come. Sony has been really good with their first-party exclusives. If you look in the past at some of their exclusives, they've done really well. It started out slow in most cases, but have done pretty well. The Sony console, as I said, is $399.99. Uh, comes with, of course, a controller. Um, comes with a headset. No other peripherals. Um, it was confirmed that it was supposed to be bundled with the PlayStation Eye because they're integrating the PlayStation Eye, and if you notice on the controller, it it has it pretty much has the colored lights similar to that of the motion controls that the PlayStation 3 had. So they integrated that actually into the controller. So they kind of took a step back on that. You can still go out and get the PlayStation 9 for $60, of course. Um, that's really it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the console itself. Like I said, another videos to come. I mainly want to get out some of the exclusives. We all know the multi-plats, 2K14, NBA Live, of course Madden, Battlefield 4, Watch Dogs, Batman, of course, Assassin's Creed 4. These games are going to be day one on both systems. So, it's all about preference. Which one do you want to get? Which type of games do you like? Do you like the Microsoft games? Then you should invest in the Xbox One. Do you like the Sony games? Then you should invest in that. Me personally, I more than likely will get neither at launch. I will get one down the road because I've had problems when I gotten consoles at launch. Um, or I've known people to have problems when they've gotten consoles, not such as the Xbox One with all the problems it had, or the PlayStation 3, with really not having too many first-party games. Developers didn't know how to pick games up there, so a lot of games didn't look the same as they did on the Xbox. Even the Wii U, even this generation, the Wii U had a very limited library of games. That's really gonna step up. So, like I said, for me personally, I'm gonna wait. Let me know which are you leaning towards? Is the Xbox One? Is the PlayStation 4? Like, comment, and subscribe.